Sadly, today we lost Tim Curry, the absolute acting legend. Now, I don't often do tribute videos when actors die, but this one I kind of wanted to put a stamp on because it he's an actor that sort of influenced a lot of the films that I love, and he's been a massive part of a lot of films that I love. So I kind of wanted to do a little tribute to him today, and that's kind of what this is, just talking about his movies a little bit. It's the only thing I could think to do, really. So Tim Curry's this legendary actor. Now, obviously, he's shot to fame in probably his most memorable role, which is as Frankenfurter in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Now, that is obviously a very controversial, strange role, but that role has continued to sort of like escalate for years now. I mean, it's still massively popular today, as it was back then, possibly even more popular today because of the cult following that movie had. And not a lot of people know that Tim Curry played Frankenfurter in the stage show version of this before it became the movie. So he is literally the start of the Frankenfurter character. Obviously, Richard O'Brien wrote the Rocky Horror Picture Show. It was his clever writing, his great songs that he put together for it. But the character and the portrayal of it was Tim Curry's birth and child, basically. And from the moment that Tim Curry's Frankenfurter was there, everyone that's ever taken on that stage show production has kind of done another version of that because it's so iconic and so perfect for the role. And obviously Tim Curry did that. And you'd assume that doing a role like that Tim Curry would have been typecast then to do similar roles or roles to a similar sort of extent as that. However, he didn't. He broke the mold and he went and did a massive range of different characters, like a ridiculous range of characters. I mean, think about it, like Legend, the Tom Cruise movie, the sort of fantasy adventure one. He plays the demonic devil type character in that, with the big huge horns and the club feet, and he was massively built. He was terrifying in that as the villain, and it was so dark and brooding and just evil. Talking of evil, he's Pennywise in the 90s version of It. That scarred and scared a generation of people. I mean, just think of how many people are terrified of clowns because of the performance of Pennywise that Tim Curry did. Not many people would have read the It book at that point. I mean, I know it's a massive selling book, but not many kids would have read the book. But a lot of us kids watched that TV special movie and were terrified from that point on of clowns and drains and red balloons. His role became iconic. And even now, people argue Skarsgård or Tim Curry. And it's always a balance between the two because both iconically did the role perfectly. Skarsgård took a little bit of what Tim Curry did, then made it his own. But people are always arguing it because it's not a clear, defined definition. A lot of people do still favour Tim Curry, you probably see a fit video there, Tim Curry's version of Pennywise because it is absolutely terrifying. And in a weird coincidence, yesterday I was unboxing these random mystery horror Funko Pops. And yesterday I actually unboxed Tim Curry's Pennywise Funko Pop, which is kind of a weird coincidence, a total weird coincidence. But there you go, it's the Tim Curry version of Pennywise of the Funko Pop. And as I said, I unboxed it yesterday, so it's a weird turn of events. But he did other roles. I mean, obviously they're three very different, iconic roles. But Home Alone 2. In Home Alone 2, he plays the hotel worker that's kind of out to get Kevin, that kind of is suspicious of Kevin being staying at the hotel and stuff. And he's pure evil at the same time as being comical. It's brilliant. Like, there's that scene, and to emote the things he could do with his face, so he could make himself look terrified and pure evil. So there's a scene where he finds out that Kevin's card is stolen, or it's been registered as stolen, and he does this look where he looks down and this evil smile as he looks up at the camera, and the camera pans on his face, and he's just like, and he's like, oh, and it's just pure ecstasy look. So it goes from demonic evil to pure ecstasy in one scene. And moments before that in the movie, he's like a coward and he's on the floor trying to scurry away because Kevin set up this whole thing where he's got a puppet in the shower and he's playing the videotape and the gun starts playing. And Tim Curry runs out of the building on the floor, he's crawling on the floor, he's like, there's a madman with a gun! And he's trying to crawl out. It's such a great performance. Talking of his great performances, if you ever watched a film called Congo, it was based on a book that was written by the same guy, Jurassic Park. And the movie didn't do that well, but Tim Curry's performance in it is stellar. It's absolutely hilarious. He plays sort of like foreign, I think he's like Eastern European, possibly South African, adventurer, explorer, scientist who's obsessed with finding the lost city of Zinj. And he's trying to find it, and he's kind of leading our sort of like heroes down a dodgy path to get there, it eventually gets everyone killed sort of thing. But his character is the most entertaining thing in that movie. And they've got a talking ape in that movie. There's a sign language to talk. Yet Tim Curry, every time he's on screen, the movie's just fantastic. And that's what I mean. He elevates every movie he's been in. Every time he's in a movie, even if it's a cheap, silly little low-budget movie, his performance makes it better. He's such a great actor. And as I said, the range he's done. I mean, if the Muppets Treasure Island, he's Blackbeard in that. What a great performance again. It's like, sadly, that film didn't do as well. I think of Scrooge come out before, the Muppets Christmas Carol come out before, and that was kind of the benchmark. And so, sorry, Treasure Island didn't quite meet that. But still a great performance from Tim Curry. If you're a fan of kids animated stuff, especially sort of things the late 90s, early 2000s, The Wild Thornberrys, it might be early 2000s, was a great cartoon, and he played the dad in that. And also, I only found recently, he was originally going to voice the Joker in the Batman animated series, and he did like that. If you go online, you can see it. He's done a lot of like they did a lot of audition sort of stuff in him, so you can hear him voicing the Joker in that series. And obviously, Mark Hamill, amazing as the Joker. We're never going to want anyone else, but Tim Curry would have been a bloody good second for that role. It would have been absolutely amazing to see what he would have done with it. But obviously, Mark Hamill, as big, oh, someone smashed TV, has gone on to become iconic. But Tim Curry would have been the next best choice to play the Joker. He would have been fantastic as the Joker in a live action film. Imagine him playing the Joker instead of Jack Nicholson. That would have made me so much better. I just like that film so much better. I'm not a big fan of Jack Nicholson's Joker, but if Tim Curry played the Joker in that movie, oh my god, because he was slimmed down there. Oh, it would have been absolutely brilliant. But yeah, Tim Curry is literally one of those phenomenal actors. I mean, the fact that he has had so many roles that are iconic and are going to live forever. I mean, as I said, like everyone was terrified of his version of Pennywise. Like just the way it was so about the way he could go from charming, kind and funny with Pennywise to absolutely terrifying and evil within a scene. Literally within a few lines of dialogue, like the Georgie scene in the sewer grate is one of them where he's just like, oh, you'll float, Georgie, oh, float. The way he did that voice was absolutely terrifying. And it's the fact that he's like, oh, Georgie, all talky. And then the Skarsgård version was very, very similar because it was like perfection. The way Tim Curry did it was perfection. So all they were like, we're not going to try and change that much of it. We're going to keep it pretty much the same. And then it's just like, and you'll die if you try. The way it's so amazing the way he delivers the lines. It's just, and then he does the comedy stuff in there. Like when, was it Richie that's doing in the library and he's got the cracker and he's trying to speak loudly so that Richie can't hear who he's talking to in the library. It's amazing because he's telling these stupid, ridiculous jokes. Like, is your refrigerator running? It is. Then you better get after it. And it's that sort of delivery of the clown, and then doing the I'll kill you, I'll die if you try, all that stuff. It's so amazing. And literally, after that aired on telly for the first time, like 1990, I want to say 2, could be wrong. This one, when you're supposed to see there. After that aired, people were generally terrified of clowns. Like a fear that never was there before is now there in a lot of people. It's kind of like the shark in Jaws made people scared to go in water. He made people scared to go near a sewer for years. And it's amazing that a man can do that to someone. But with his acting skills that he had, he managed to portray that. And we're going to go back to Frank-N-Furter now. What a strange character. Like a transvestite Frankenstein character that was trying to make his own toy in Rocky. It's a bizarre movie, but you watch it and you're entertained and you love it. I've been to see the show a couple of times with like different actors playing Frank-N-Furter, all of them doing a version of what Tim Curry did. Every single one of them did a version of Tim Curry, and they did it fantastically. Whenever I got to see it, whoever played Frank-N-Furter was fantastic in the role. But I would have loved to have seen Tim Curry do it on stage live. If anyone has seen that, let me know how that was. Please put in the comments. If you ever saw him do it on stage live, let me know, because that must have been amazing. But in the movie, his presence is unforgettable. Like the moment he walks in, your eyes go to him, and your eyes, whenever he's on screen, your eyes kind of watch him. There's all other stuff going on with Brad and Janice and Riff Raff and all the others, but your eyes are on him the whole time. Wherever he's got that strange sort of green dress thing on with the pearls and all that, and the gloves and the handbag, that or it's in the skimpy outfit at the end. And way he projects his voice and sings in that movie is amazing as well. You cannot, and the catchiness of the songs. I mean, Richard O'Brien, or whoever wrote the songs, a credit to them. But his performance of them, like, there's that bit where at the end of the movie where they're in the swimming pool and they're singing "Don't Dream It, Be It," and he just bursts out like going a bow 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 with a bow bow bow, and he just boom into, and it's just like boom, and the whole film just goes from this really soft setting to him exploding onto the screen. Same when he comes down in that lift at his very first sort of appearance as Frankenfurter. I know he appears earlier in the movie as a priest, but as Frankenfurter, he comes down in the lift with the foot stomping, and then he turns and you see the face and the camera zooms in, and she screams, and he just comes out and just walks out like that, and then the cloak comes off and he's just as he is, the sweet transvestite, all the movements and all the, oh my god, it is phenomenal. And those songs are in your head. When I found out earlier that he died, I did a quick little mini video version of this, like a quick tribute video, but now I'm going to do a longer one. But from the moment I finished doing that, all I had was those songs over and over in my head, like "You're a Wild and Untamed Thing" in my head, and or "Sweet Transvestite," or "In Just 7 Days." You know, all those songs are brilliant and phenomenal. I mean, obviously the Time Warp is the one that's kind of remembered for that movie, but the other songs in it are fantastic, especially the ones he does. Oh my god, like, and to say that one man encapsulated those roles, like legend as well. It's like, it's an iconic movie, Tom Cruise's first movie that launched him. But if he hadn't had that villain, which is more memorable than Tom Cruise's role, that iconic with the big devil horns and that, and the voice he does, that's so deep and bellowing, it's ridiculous. And this is before we had as much technology as we do now. I mean, the fact that if you watch that movie, it's in all that makeup, which must have weighed a ton, especially the horns on it, must have weighed a complete ton. And he's giving this very physical, very disturbing, moving performance. How do you do that with all that on you? And how do you emote through that makeup? It is ridiculously incredible. Same with Pennywise. He emoted these expressions through the makeup, which, that's talent. And he went on to other things. I know that near the end of his life, he got very, very ill. I think he had a couple of strokes. I remember seeing pictures of him in a wheelchair, and he looked really sort of like not well, but he was still like kind of working in a way. I did a lot of signings and stuff even in that way. But like, what a man. Like, what a legend of a man. And like, whenever you've seen him at like conventions and talking to people, he seemed like a nice guy as well. Really sort of approachable and friendly and that. And I remember watching it was like an anniversary of Rocky Horror Picture Show, and Richard O'Brien is really charismatically like, oh my god, it's Tim Curry, and he just walks on with this like aura, and he walks on stage and he stood at the mic, was like, hello, and it's just, and the whole crowd went boom with like when he said it, and then he's like, there's some people here more devilish than me, sort of thing. And it's just, the crowd just reacted to him. He had such an aura and a presence, and he's one of the actors, even though he's like massive Hollywood star and celebrities, I would have loved to have met him. Just to be in a room and have a conversation with him would have been absolutely amazing. I think just ask him about these roles, Pennywise, Frankenfurter, the guy from Congo, because I still love that film and that role. The Home Alone, like the way he was in Home Alone, with the way sort of like the evilness of like a normal man that he was in Home Alone. He wasn't like a scary thing in that, but he was still this villainous character. He's probably more villainous in that movie than the Wet Bandits are, you know. So it's just such a shame. And I actually realised after a little while after he died, we've lost 3 stars from that movie this year. We've lost Catherine O'Hara, who was the mum in Home Alone. We've lost the pigeon lady, and now we've lost him. So 3 stars from Home Alone 2 lost in 1 year. That's so sad. We've lost a lot of people. I mean, literally Dolly Parton yesterday, and there's been like Chuck Norris this year, Andy Stewart Head. Legendary actors are dying this year. This is like probably one of the worst years for sort of like celebrity deaths or acting deaths, you know, like it's mental. But like, he's one that's going to be truly missed, because I'd love to see him in more stuff. I'd love to see what he could have done with roles, like thinking like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What could he have done in there? The Star Wars universe. What could he have done in that? And he would have elevated it. You know, he would have. He'd have come in as anybody, and he would have elevated those movies. And it's such a shame that we're not going to get to see any more of his work. But tonight, I'm going to definitely tribute. I might watch Rocky Horror Picture Show tonight, because it's his most like iconic of roles. I might watch it tonight as well. I don't have Congo on DVD. I went through my collection and realised I don't have Congo. and almost cried. I was like, I'm going out tomorrow to CX. I'm going to hunt down the movie Congo, because I do love that movie. I don't even know why I don't have it. I should have it. It's a blasphemy that I don't have it. But I'm going to watch these in like tribute to him tonight, and I suggest you guys do it too. Just watch one of his roles, because they're all bloody fantastic, if you ask me. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this. Let me know your favourite Tim Curry movies in there, and let me know if there's a movie that maybe he's phenomenal in that I don't know about. Maybe there's a movie role that I don't recollect, or I've not seen, that he's astronomically good in it. Please let me know, because I'm desperate to see some more great Tim Curry stuff, especially in his next week or so. And again, another good thing about Tim Curry, which is to do with me and my sort of like country pride, that he was a fellow Brit, and that makes me so proud that sort of someone from here, that from a stage musical here, went on to become massive in Hollywood and this iconic character there. So that again, like, national pride in it. So the fact he's a fellow Brit as well. So again, list your favourite Tim Curry movies. Let me know what you thought of him an actor. Which one do you prefer? Like, which iconic role do you think he was best in? That's another good question, isn't it? But again, all of you, we're all in mourning tonight, so watch your movies, enjoy yourselves, and just remember, as he said in the movie, don't dream it, be it. And we're all wild and untamed things. We're all bees with a deadly sting. And I'll see you later, guys. Enjoy yourselves. Bye.